I'm bringing a little bit of extra trash to the show as usual. I want to talk about bad reality television, or good reality television in general.
Yeah.
Let's say it's probably all bad. I probably watch way too much of it, but I'm generally someone, if you show me, or if you tell me there's a competition reality show,
it's mostly competition shows that you watch.
it has to be competition.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in just watching people living their lives. That doesn't do anything for me. They have to compete for excellence. And then I'll watch it all. I'll watch every single episode of every single series. And so I just brought a few of my favorites, and I thought some of you guys could talk about some of your favorites as we go. I'm going to start with my favorite ever, which is called Mad House.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh, my alarm's going off. It's called Mad House. It was like a Big Brother type situation where they took pretty reserved people, were all the contestants, and they made them live in a house with a witch, a nudist, a modern primitive, a vampire, and a voodoo priestess. And they would do competitions relating to these jobs, I guess you'd call them, every week, and vote people out as the show goes on. Yeah.
So the challenge,
like, they had to
was just
to drink blood in one episode. They had to be naked in one episode.
Can you watch it still? Is it available?
I believe it's all up on YouTube. I think that's how I watched it. Yeah. It's called Mad House.
And so,
I never heard of it.
The challenge was just to live with these people and not go
just
crazy?
live with them and win the competition again. Like, you were voting out your competitors.
Oh, so it still had that
in this house with these people who are
political aspect.
Crazy people. But then it's also definitely reality TV, where they're the people who are the vampire and the voodoo priestess are just weird actors.
Yeah.
So it's really weird and terrible. But
yeah, if you search it on YouTube, the first thumbnail is that voodoo lady person.
Oh, perfect.
I think
it's probably the peak.
But wait,
of
there was only one
trash.
season of that show?
There's only one season.
Wow.
Only 10 episodes.
How could they not keep going with that show?
That's the thing. Probably too much controversy.
Amazing.
Similarly, well, maybe not similarly. Similarly, in that it's reality television, I also really love. This is probably the one you thought I was going to say, Pants. Work of Art, the next great artist.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Taskmaster. That's what I always hear.
Oh, I wasn't even considering that for this.
I guess it's more of a game show. I guess.
Yeah, it's a panel show. I don't know.
That's true.
This is for utter trash.
Right.
Work of Art, the next great artist. It was a Bravo reality show in the early 2000s, where it was people trying to become the next fine artist, and they were making it was amazing, these tortured souls that they had as these people who were. There was one artist on, I think he's somewhat known as the Suck Lord in one season, and it's a show that went multiple seasons, actually.
Wait, you got to expand on the Suck Lord.
He was just kind of a douchey, nerdy guy who did oh shoot, what's that brand of fake action figures you can get now that are artsy and funny?
Funko?
I can't remember. No, weirder than that. But he just did custom action figures, kind of, and that was his art.
Where did the Suckmaster come from, or whatever his name was?
Yeah, I don't. That was. I don't know. That was his name.
Weird.
I think he probably bestowed it on himself. I'm not sure. Hopefully, he didn't give it to himself. Actually,
imagine introducing someone as Suck Lord, and then you just are he's a banker.
Yeah, there's no story behind it.
I think you've got to be a New York City artist to do that. Probably. There was they would do an episode where everyone has to do some shock art, and so you'd see some really extreme ends of the spectrum of what people thought was shocking. But there's one girl who just covered herself in feces and just writhed on the ground screaming at people, and it was one of those things though where as the seasons goes on, it starts off as a total train wreck, but by the end are these incredible artists, and you see these insane paintings and performances, and it was really good.
What was this one called?
Work of Art, the next great artist. I'm pretty sure it's also all up on YouTube.
I guess I'm gonna have my next month of entertainment here.
So I just read that Suck Lord, he came up with the name for his company first, and it was Suckadelic Entertainment. And
Oh,
the idea was that he kind of sucks. All his stuff is sort of like it sucks, and so he's not that great at things, and so he named himself Suck Lord because he's this lord of psychedelic entertainment.
There you go. So there's some method to his absolute madness. I can keep going. My next one I had brought up, I'm sure all of us have seen episodes of this one, was Deadliest Warrior.
Oh, Deadliest Warrior was awesome.
I don't know if you can really count it as reality television, but I think it taught us things about reality. Taught us what warrior can cut a pig the best.
Yeah.
Was that part of the G4 like suite or like Spike TV?
I think they had the syndicated or the rerun episodes. It was on Spike before G4 was a thing. It was with like 1001 Ways to Die and gosh, I can't remember what else.
Have you seen the one? I forget what it's called, but it's the first round is basically all the contestants have to make their weapon, and then the second round is like they have to go through.
It's
like cutting stuff up.
It's a spin-off of Forged in Fire.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
That one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's because you get these people making these crazy blades, and then
Yeah.
they just have to like cut 100 straps at once, or cut through 16 coconuts.
Yeah. And every single person that was on that show looks exactly how you think they're going to look.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I bet at least 50% of them are white supremacists. I mean, the other half are probably just well-meaning guys, so it's good and bad. But that one had a judge that every time he had to test the blades before they could do the competition.
Yeah.
And when he would do it, if it would fail, he would say something or whatever. But if it would succeed, he would go, "Your blade will kill." And that was his catchphrase. It was, I think catchphrases is how you get multiple seasons of a reality show.
Yeah.
Because I bet there's like 6 or 7 seasons of that out there.
Yeah, and the test, like if you failed that test, it was so humiliating because you don't even get to go on the show. You just lose immediately.
But I think usually the guy's still standing there for the rest of the episode. Like he stands in the back next to the judges, watching Knives That Will Kill.
Knife will kill.
When you first said like the golden age of like reality TV or whatever, the G4 Spike TV era is kind of where my brain went.
Yeah,
for sure. Like that, I remember. That's like that channel didn't have anything really. There was like Attack of the Show and then like just nonstop random reality shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Their G4 had, what was it? It was called like Solitary or something. And they just locked people in rooms for like 60 days and had them do tests throughout the whole thing. That one was terrible. Yeah, that was a crazy time because they had so many hours to fill in the day on that channel.
The worst was that it's kind of similar to if you watch hockey now using like Sports Central or whatever, there's only like one commercial. So you just see the same commercial like 100 times if you watch something.
It's true. That's amazing. Let's see.
Keep going. I want to write these down.
We want more? Okay. I've got more open here. We've got Twinning. It was a show. This one freaked me out and probably made me a worse person because now I've got some weird thoughts against twins. But it was just a bunch of like 10 sets of twins they would have, and they'd do competitions against each other. But I don't know, that whole show, twins were just doing freaky things. Like, it just felt unnatural and weird
like
to me.
Superpower type things? Like,
superpower type things. So
like
I feel like I could just never trust a twin
like
is
psychics?
the thing. Yeah. Basically psychics, yeah. There was The Arrangement, which was a really great one. I think that was a Netflix one where they were doing huge flower arrangements in like crazy, like insane, like 20 feet tall.
I watched that one.
Stands of like really ridiculous shapes. Yeah, that was a really great
seeing
one.
people like it's so stressed, being like, "Put the flowers here, put the purple ones over there."
Totally, yeah, and having meltdowns, and then like their thing collapses, and you see them just weeping on the side. And some of the contestants on it were really crazy characters. It was amazing. There was like a Dutch couple who were so funny and weird. what else we got? Just a second here. Now I'm starting to.
What's your all-time favorite? Is this in an
Mad
order?
I think
Madhouse.
it's It's Mad Madhouse.
Yeah.
I started at the peak. That one, it's so stupid and so like. I bet I haven't watched it in probably a decade, actually, but I'm sure you can't do most of what they do in that show on TV now. Yeah, it was really nuts. There's I don't know if you've seen Blown Away. That's a more recent one. That's the glass blowing show.
Oh yeah,
you told me
There's
about
like
that one.
there's like 4 or 5 seasons of that.
I
And
went,
that's some
that actually
really
got me to
incredible
go
stuff.
try glass blowing.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a studio here in
Was
Edmonton that you can go to.
Was it the brain candy one? Or the
is that the name
No,
of the
it's
studio?
the one by Sucklord, I think is.
Oh yeah, Sucklord's Blow Studio.
Blowlord. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
totally
I
different.
forget the name of the place here. It's just,
The runner-up from the first season is from Edmonton, so yeah, she probably runs one of those places too.
oh yeah, no, that's her. Yeah, that's right.
Crazy.
That's her. It's just in the back of her house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And you just go. You can pay. I forget what it was. It was kind of expensive, but it's a fun date night. It's cool. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that like actually getting into it as a hobby would be really expensive, probably.
yeah. I mean, she had to
That'd
build
be a
this whole
really
thing in the
tricky
back
thing.
of her. It's a huge. It looks very
Yeah,
costly.
insane.
To do.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing like on one of the episodes at one point they talk about how so basically anyone who does glass blowing full time goes blind eventually because you're staring into this bright furnace so much of the day, and even if you have like really good sunglasses, it's not doing it. I guess you could wear a welding mask. That's probably what I would do, but they're all eventually going blind. It's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
All these blind glass blowers walking around.
Well, now that I know you're a huge reality fan, I was trying to think of my top 3, and I think I have it. So I want to see if you've seen them now. Okay, so my number 3
Amazing.
is Portrait Artist of the Year.
Oh, I have not seen that one.
Okay, so this is like I think it's like a BBC thing. They also do Landscape Artist of the Year, but I prefer the portrait one. And they basically have a bunch of artists come in and 3 celebrities. They're usually British celebrities, so sometimes you're not familiar with them.
Yeah.
But they basically, I think there's 9 painters and 3 assigned to each artist, and they all use their style to create a portrait throughout the day. And then the celebrity picks their favorite, and then there's judges that pick the ultimate winner. And eventually, all the winners face each other for a prize of getting to do like a portrait for the National Gallery or something of like somebody famous.
Cool.
It's like a legit. It's more of a serious one. It's not like comedy really.
Yeah.
But I just love watching because you get like 9 different styles in every episode, and some of them are just like so out
That's
there
amazing.
and so.
It's one of those things. Watching anyone who's excellent at doing something doing what they do is just really entertaining. Yeah.
So that's my number 3. My number 2 is just a classic British Bake Off.
Oh yeah.
There's something
those are...
I think during the pandemic, because everything was so like heavy all the time, there was something really like heartwarming about a competition where there's no prize. Like they don't get anything for doing this. They're just normal people who come together, try some baking out, and then one of them is arbitrarily called the winner, really. But it's really just like I love the judges often have, and the hosts are kind of like, they're always very British, and they have like a kind of a backhanded way of complimenting people or insulting people. But it's
no country has come close to the British's version.
Yeah, I've tried the other ones, and I don't like them. There's something, I don't know, there's something wholesome about the British one that isn't captured in the others. And then my number 1. This one, I've been trying to tell everybody to watch this, and maybe you've heard about it. It's on Netflix. It's called The Devil's Plan. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh, okay. This show is gonna blow your mind. Okay, it's a Korean reality show. I believe Netflix made it, but it's Korean, so everything's subtitled. But it's basically it's everything opposite of like an American reality show. So every contestant is smart. Is like they all have degrees. They're also like one of them's an actor, but he has a degree in mathematics or something, right? Like they're all like these dual threat type people. They're all respectful to one another. Like the first season, in the first episode, they all are learning each other's like honorifics. So figuring out when each of them were born to understand how they're supposed to address one another. Like it's a really interesting insight into like culture and stuff. And the whole point of the game is they all live in this house and they compete in these games, and they're kicked out one at a time, right? Like a normal show. But the games themselves, talk about like respecting the intelligence of the viewer. I'm not exaggerating. I think the explanation of how each game is played takes about 15 minutes of the show. So they're all incredibly cerebral games, and you basically watch these instructions given to you and the players over like 15 minutes, and it's that part. It can get a bit boring if you're not really into like learning rules of games. But then they go away. They have half an hour to talk amongst each other, to devise strategies, and then they play these games that are really quite intensive, cerebral and intellectual games. And then some of them get thrown into a jail, and some of them win. And the whole point is to collect these pieces, and whoever has the most pieces at the end wins. But the cool thing is that the house and the jail and all these different rooms have secrets, and the players, and there's a little bit of like a game within a game happening, and there's players who are discovering like secret passages and secret things, and they're trying to keep it from one another, and some of them form like really deep bonds right away. But it's the way that they treat each other with like deep respect that gives it such a different vibe than any other reality show that I've watched. And season 2 just started, and I'm watching that.
Interesting.
But
I'll definitely check.
Give that a shot, because I'd be really curious, as someone who's like you seem to really love reality TV.
Have you heard of The Genius? It's also a South Korean show. It's from probably like 10 years ago. That sounds very similar.
Interesting.
Where it's all
I haven't.
Everybody who's on it is wildly overqualified for being on reality TV.
Yeah.
And they're also I think it's pretty similar to, I haven't watched it, but there's that Traders show now that everybody's
I watched that a little bit too.
Into.
Yeah.
It's
funny. The first season of Devil's Plan has everyone's Korean except for one guy. He's I believe he's Canadian. He's from Montreal actually, and his job is like professional gamer or something like that. And he's just it's just funny to see him because he sticks out completely. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, if anyone wants to watch an interesting show, just like give it an episode or two. There's a scene in the first season that was legitimately like, I was so enthralled by what was happening on screen. They did such a good job of like getting me to invest in these people, but I say characters, but they're real people. It was really good.
Oh, I love the idea of like a big puzzle house, like a house that's a puzzle. It's almost like the Blueprints.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah. That's awesome. I will definitely. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch Portrait Artist of the Year today. So that's exciting. That looks right up my alley.
There's so many seasons of it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's on season 11 or something, which is great. One more I just wanted to bring up quickly. It's the last one. It's a Netflix show called We Are the Champions. I don't know if any of you saw that.
No.
It was 6 different episodes, and each episode was a different like competition essentially. First episode is cheese rolling, so you find this is like this is the world's best cheese rolling competition. We're going to check it out and see how these people work. Second episode, chili eating. Third episode, fantasy hairstyling, which I remember being just incredible. Like, I would really love to go to a fantasy hairstyling show. Then you got yo-yo championships, dog dancing championships, and frog jumping championships.
Wow.
And
that sounds good.
It's stuff that you couldn't get a full series out of, but they give a good look at each.
That sounds pretty good.
Is it the same person competing in all of them, or it's different people?
No, it's the best. It's the world championships of each one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you're seeing as good as it gets. Yeah, it's great stuff.
My favorite kind of reality show is usually ones that involve like a prank. And the first one I remember this being is like the Joe Schmo show. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was back in the Spike TV days, but it was essentially like a Big Brother type show, but one of the people was real, everyone else was an actor, and they were just every episode was just them making it as ridiculous as possible, and the one guy just thought he was in the weirdest house ever.
It sounds like you're just describing a Nathan Fielder show now. Almost like,
but yeah, anything like that, I love that. They kind of did this recently with Jury Duty, I think it was called, or whatever.
Jury Duty was fantastic. Yeah,
that was awesome. Like James Marsden being in there was so.
That's
funny.
A weird one where like, does that count as reality TV?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
real to someone.
The Mole, I remember liking a lot too.
Yeah,
watch The Mole. Yeah,
The Mole was a favorite one forever.
That one's cool because you feel less like a spectator, and you can actually all like come up with your own theories, and it feels like you're a little bit more
figure
involved.
out who did it.
Yeah.
There was Murder in Small Town X at the same time as that, where there was like it was like a real life murder mystery that you were playing along with, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shows I think that could be that I'm like they exist already that I don't think they've done them as well as they could are ones, what's it called, like Whiplash or whatever it's called, or like the ones where like people run through a crazy obstacle course. I think those could get way more extreme and like be way more entertaining.
Like American Ninja Warrior blew up so big. If they could take that to the next level,
and that was kind of NXC, Most Extreme.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Challenge.
But that show is also like it's a joke in addition to being a brutal game show.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, and that show's back too. They're airing currently.
With
Which
Takeshi Kitano?
Not MXC. Takeshi's Castle.
Oh, okay.
Takeshi Kitano has his. I guess there's a character to it. He's like a feudal lord, and you have to run an obstacle course to visit the lord. I don't really understand.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
There was one more. This is not a reality show, but kind of is because it involves a real person. But I usually like telling people about it because no one's ever heard of it. It is on Netflix. It's called The Push. Has anyone heard of this?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
The guy in charge of it is like I think he's a mentalist or like some kind of magician mentalist kind of guy. But the premise of the show is that he takes a real person and he's convinced that if you put a real person through the right combination of stressful situations and choices, you could convince someone to murder somebody if they were put in the right pressure cooker. And so you watch this real person go through a night working as like a kind of like an assistant to run an event, and slowly he puts them through with like 1,000 actors kind of thing. Like the whole thing is an elaborate thing where the goal is at the very end he's going to push someone off a roof and kill them. And like it's so entertaining. And
does he do it? No way. There's no way he attempts to murder someone at the end of this show.
I would watch it. It's very funny. There's like some parts that are just like, because he has to slowly ramp up. The first things is like him trying to get dominance over this guy, and so he has him doing just like, I think one of the first things is there's a vegan tray of food he's supposed to carry out, but they kind of mix things up, and he's like, you know what, we'll just tell them that's vegan meat. We don't have to tell them, and so he slowly tricks them into doing that kind of stuff, and then it ramps up to him like kicking a dead corpse.
That's a pretty messed up objective for the host.